It's 10 o'clock at night on any given weekday. A mother is trying to put her small boy to bed, but he resists. She tucks him in the blankets after silencing the child's resistance, but to ensure that he does not wake up later, she seals her actions with a lullaby. Go to sleep now, or Coco will come and eat you. Sound familiar? The figure of children's monsters is the boogeyman, or the Coco, and he's been used since the ancient times to teach children a certain behavior. In fact, he is the monster with the highest presence across many cultures with different names. The concept of 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 may have gained popularity in Portugal, Spain, Brazil, and other countries during the 1500s, but it may be dated back thousands of years. Diodorus Siculus, a Greek philosopher who lived about 100 years before Christ, referenced something resembling 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 in his writings. He depicts Iberian warriors offering sacrifices to a mighty being. The sacrifices took the shape of severed heads of their enemies. Siculus never explicitly names it 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞, but what other supernatural monster named after human heads would accept skulls as an offering? Some believe 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 to be a reference to mischievous creatures known as hobgoblins. Hobgoblins are actually quite friendly or limited to light-hearted pranks across most of Europe. Although there are legends of hobgoblins that are far more evil in character, these animals were reported to torture mankind, even scaring them to death at times. Regardless of how the 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 came to be, he exists as one of the most well-known and feared creatures of all time. Around the world, there are hundreds of names for it, each with its own unique twist. Because it has such a worldwide effect, determining which nation told the earliest stories about the creature is challenging. But one thing is certain, it enjoys lurking in the shadows of the night, and its primary victims are disobedient youngsters who do not listen to their parents. 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 is described differently in every country. However, there are certain similarities. The majority of boogeymen are spirits or entities who frighten mischievous youngsters at night. It might strike for a variety of reasons, ranging from resentment against children who leave things unclean to hunger for youngsters who stay up late. 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 is supposed to have long nails or claws that they use to scrape against window panes in the middle of the night. There are also stories of 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 with frightening eyes that torment youngsters who walk outside after dark. It is thought to have horns or to resemble animals, while others are said to be evil humanoids or witches. The monster is supposed to have originated as a description of a boogeyman or boogeyman-like monster in the United Kingdom. The boogeymen were in charge of gathering up the dead, especially when the Black Plague ravaged Europe. They were frequently quite ill as a result of their touch with the dead, and they had skeleton-like forms with sunken eyes. They are claimed to have no appearance and are able to shapeshift. They can take the form of a tree limb scraping against your window or a scary shadow hiding beneath your bed. One of its most intriguing characteristics is its capacity to appear in folklore from hundreds of nations despite sharing very few physical similarities. 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞, while mysterious, is best understood through its motivations. It is mostly obsessed with children. Yet there are tales in various cultures that imply it will pursue anybody who has done wrong, regardless of the age range targeted by 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞. It appears to be a consistent theme that it will not harm individuals who are considered good. There is also an unusual type of 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 who does not come after youngsters just for being mischievous. They often serve as a strange sort of protector, even though they tend to have terrifying appearances. 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 is the name given to this creature by the Hispanic and Latino people. However, let's look at some 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 variations from around the world. 𝐦𝐨𝐤𝐤𝐿. The 𝐦𝐨𝐤𝐤𝐿, a boogeyman who terrorizes children and parents alike, lurks in the Semarang district of central Java. This usual boogeyman is considered to be a ghost seeking retribution as well as acceptance. Despite its terrible nature, the 𝐦𝐨𝐤𝐿 ghost does not harm children. Instead, she kidnaps neglected or abused children and conceals them from their parents until she believes the parents have learned their lesson. Even though she exacts her revenge on the parents, children dread her for her weird tendencies. It is said that any youngster who is kidnapped by the 𝐦𝐨𝐤𝐿 is forced to consume poo until they're released. 𝐵𝐴𝐴𝐵𝐴. 𝐵𝐴𝐴𝐵𝐴 is a Croatian boogeyman with an insatiable appetite for disobedient children. This boogie is described as an ugly old woman with horns on top of her head. She follows her prey at night and transports them to her dark hideout, where she devours them. 𝐵𝐴𝐵𝐴 is said to carry a satchel in which she drags youngsters into her lair. She is claimed to prey on youngsters who wander out late at night, and she is also rumored to reach down through the holes in the roof to take her prey. 𝐻𝐷𝐷𝐿. Tata Duende originates in Latin America and is commonly seen in Mayan and Mestizo mythology. This boogeyman has backward feet and is missing his thumbs, which causes him to have a weird obsession with human thumbs, particularly human children's thumbs. It is thought that the Tata Duende, which translates approximately as grandfather goblin, is the defender of the jungle. He can, however, be rather mischievous at times. If Tata Duende encounters a mischievous youngster, he would lure them into the bush and attempt to bite off their thumbs. The Namahage. The Namahage is a Japanese monster that preys on disobedient, lethargic, or sobbing children. During the New Year, it is known to take crops and rebellious children. They have been observed roaming city streets at night crying out, "Are there any crybabies?" L'Uomo Nero. L'Uomo Nero is commonly depicted as a man dressed entirely in black who haunts disobedient children in the eastern Mediterranean region. This boogeyman is frequently depicted wearing a hood or headgear that conceals his face. The L'Uomo Nero comes to steal children who disrespect their parents, but he does not consume them like other boogeymen. Instead, he transports them to a terrifying location to live with him for a year. 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞. The shape-shifting cannibal 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞, also known as Old Red Eyes, is said to prey on young children. It is said that this beast would most likely take the shape of a black dog with crimson eyes. The Night Hag. The Night Hag is a demonic ghost that is said to inflict sleep paralysis and nightmares. This ghost is an elderly lady who feeds on her victims' terror and dreams. She sits on her victim's chest as they sleep, causing them to have trouble sleeping and enter a frightening dream state. The 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐤. In Caribbean legend, the 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐤 is a malevolent human soul who returns to terrorize the living. 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐤s are comparable to ghosts in that they throw a gloomy black shadow instead of appearing as a wispy figure. These spirits are malevolent and will prey on anybody. Though there are some that believe the El Coco myths are inspired by real creatures, the majority of people believe that the boogeyman is nothing more than a tale told by parents who wanted to scare their children into behaving. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you next time with another amazing mythological story. Till then, do not be disobedient.